What up? It's your boy Anon, and today we doing a new video. I wouldn't say it's personal. It's not personal, of course, but a video that may be a little controversial. But this is my personal top 5 favorite rappers of all time. Now, it is my favorite rappers. The top 5 rappers that if I could only listen to 5 rappers for the rest of my life, it would be these top 5 type rappers. Not my opinion on who are the top 5 greatest rappers of all time, which most of these rappers would be in that conversation. Most of them would be in that conversation, but not all of them. Well, probably all of them. Whatever. So let's get into it. 911, it's an emergency. Cops tried to murder me from hood to the burden. I'm legendary, get scary, you're paralyzed. So I despise the light, the capital side. Now, it may be controversial that I have Pac as number 5 to top off my top 5 list. People will be like, oh, why is he not in your top 3? Why is he not number 1? This is my personal list, okay? I lean more towards, I don't know how to describe it. Tupac was a lyricist. He was. But I lean more towards people with a little more lyricism. You know what I'm saying? You'll see what I'm talking about as I go further and further into this list. But Pac is one of the greatest, one of my favorite rappers. But if you're going to tell me that Pac is better than, like, lyrically better than the other people in my list, then I'm not going to agree. But he is as great as the other people in this list. You know what I'm saying? It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, salt and pepper and heavy D up in my limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. Number 4 is the homie, Biggie, Notorious B.I.G. Another person who might be a little controversial, like, damn, why is he not in your top 3? Why is he not number 1? Or why is he not number 2? Well, because it's similar to Pac. I would say Biggie lyrically is a little better than Tupac. You know what I'm saying? But is he lyrically better than the other people on my list? I don't know. Okay? So, of course, he is as great, or maybe even greater in some people's eyes, as the rest of the people on my list. But he is not in my top 3. Biggie, of course, also, he faults from just not having enough work. At least, Tupac had a handful of projects for people to, dwell on, while Biggie only had 2. And then, his posthumous albums, which don't really count, but at the same time they do. But, just the limitations on Biggie's catalog kind of puts him back. And then, he's still in my top 5, man. You can't get mad. Yo, you better flee, hop. I get your headphone 3 blocks. L keeps rappers heart pumping like Reeboks. Every year my name following against scouts. Some brothers will be virgins if crack never came out. Big L. Now, I discovered Big L, I want to say, I want to say about 2-3 years ago. I was just chilling, just listening to music, and I just decided, I forgot what list. It was somewhere on Spotify. They had a list of just like rappers, something. I don't remember how I discovered them, but I found them on Spotify. And I listened to them like, what is this? How come I've never heard this person before? But I think Big L lyrically, like, I don't want to keep bringing up to lyrics because this is my personal preference and I shouldn't give you a reason to why I personally like somebody, but people always going to ask for explanation. Give me a reason. Here's my reason. Big L is fire. He has a legendary freestyle with Jay-Z back in, I think, 95. Flow is crazy. He was ahead of his time with just the way he structured his bars and punchlines. His multi-syllabic rhyme scheme is almost his signature, just how he could connect. Like, he was different. He was very different compared to the other rappers that existed at that time. And that's why he is number 3 on my top 5. I shatter dreams like Jordan, assaulting bad at your team, your squadron, and brought from LA, Radham, and even the garden. I'm carving my initials on your forehead, so every night before bed you see the BP shine off the borehead. Reverse that, I curse that, the first crack, nigga with the first rap, cause he ain't worth jack. Hit him with 1,000 pounds of pressure per slap. See his whole body jerk back. Watch the earth crack, hand him his purse back. Big pun. Now I discovered him around the same time that I discovered Big L. And when I heard him, it blew me away. I was like, what? And I realized, I'm like, oh, you know, Big Pun. And then I looked at a picture of him and I'm like, whoa, Big Pun. This dude is amazing. If you haven't listened to it, listen to Capital Punishment and listen to, I can't remember the name of his second album. But go check out his second album too. It's great. He's a Puerto Rican rapper. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? He has mastered flowing, rhymes ability, and has been able to take the English language and combine it. He pretty much raps in Spanglish. He just throw random Spanish words and it'll make sense, but it'll also go in with the rhyme. Like, it's incredible. You gotta listen to him. Great, just phenomenal rapper. You know what I'm saying? I sit back with this bag, it's exacts in this bag, cause it's weed, it gives me the need is to be the most meanest MC on this earth since his birth. I've been cursed with this curse to just curse and just lurk this berserk and bizarre that works and it sells and it helps in itself to relieve all this tension, the suspense and the sense to get and the stress with this eat and be recently off of his chest and I rest again peacefully. The God, you know what I mean? The GOAT, Marshall Mathers. Eminem is my number one favorite rapper. Some people might have already known that because, you know, if you follow me, if you know me personally, you know that. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably know that. If you follow me, you know that I follow him. You know that is the homie. You know what I'm saying? He got me into rapping different, because me personally, yes, I do rap. I've been rapping, I want to say forever. I'm 19 right now. I want to say I've been rapping since I was about, let me think. I think I've been rapping since I was about 8, 9 years old. I've just been writing raps down for about over 10 years. But the way I was rapping back then changed in about 2009, 2010 when I first listened to M. Now people are like, dang, why it took you until 2009 to listen to a rapper who came out in 1999? If you've noticed on my list, everybody that I have in my top 5 are rappers that came out in the 90s that I didn't discover until later on. I am young. I will admit that. My dad, of course, kind of raised us off of Tupac because that's one of my dad's favorite rappers. And my dad's one of my favorite, one of my dad's favorite rappers is Eminem as well. But I've never noticed him ever listening to him as a child. I've never really listened to him, or I've never noticed my dad ever bumping Eminem. I've only noticed him bump Tupac and Jay-Z and other people. So when I just digged in myself, because one time, I was so into the craft, at one point in my life, I was just like, hey, I want to Google what's the consensus on the top 5 best rappers of all time. And everywhere I looked, he was like number 1. He was top 3 everywhere I went. And I'm like, I know who Tupac is. I know who Biggie is. Who's this dude? I listen to him and I'm like, okay. But, after I've heard him, he kind of made me focus more on the technical aspect of music. Not only rhyme-wise, but also storytelling. Like, a lot of aspects of how I write, how I rap come from him. It comes from a lot of other people, but he's one of my, number one reasons why I rap the way I rap. I'm not saying that I bite him, but I was very simple with the way I rhymed and the way I did things, because that's how the type of music I heard. I'm from the South, so I heard a lot of simple sounding Southern music. Of course, that's not all that the South offers, but when I was young, that's all I heard, so that's what I thought rapping was. When I heard him, I'm like, wait a second, he just rhymed the beginning of the word with the middle of the sentence, and then ended the sentence with a different rhyme, and then started the sentence with the rhyme that he ended the sentence with, and then ended the second sentence with the rhyme that he started the first sentence with. I'm like, what? It's crazy. But that is my personal top 5. Of course, if you want to tell me who your personal top 5 is, you can put them down in the comments below. You can tell me how much you hate my top 5 rappers and that I have an old head. Because people call me an old head because I like my top 5 favorite rappers are rappers that are actually good at rapping. You call me an old head, or you can call me stupid, you can call me ignorant. You can ask me why this person is not in my top 5, why I don't have Cole, Kendrick. Because let me keep it 100% honest with you. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake is not in my top 10. Come and kill me. Come do it. They're not in my top 10 right now. Of course, Kendrick is in my top 20. Maybe my top 15. Cole is in my top 20. Drake, I don't really know. I like Drake. I like some of his music, but I will have to personally sit back and think, where would I put Drake in my list of favorite rappers? He is not in my top 10. He's not in my top 15, but he may be top 20. I have to go through his catalog. I gotta, compare him to other people. But those 3 are not in my top 10 and not in my top 5. I feel like it's too early, and I just don't personally, feel like they're better than the people that are in my top 10. Which, if you want my top 10, all you have to do is ask, put it in the comments, or whatever. Or if enough people get mad at my top 5, I'll tell you my top 10, and you can get even more mad. That's it for me. I'm out. Too sweet. Deuces.